Welcome to Wise Take DFS Podcast. I'm your host, Patio Joe, and I'm joined here by my man, Cuse. You can find him on Twitter at DFS Syracuse. Say what's up, Cuse.
What's up, man? What's up going on, nation?
And I'm also joined here by my man, the smooth guy from Texas, but he's a Braves fan. Say what's up, Mr. Eric Keiser.
What's up?
What's up?
Oh, nuts.
So I had to put down all of the screens so I didn't look at any of your faces while I was doing that so I could do it as good as possible. I hope that was a good CK impersonation. I hope you all liked it. Also, you're seeing here, you got Cuse in his Orangeman gear, so I figured I would represent the 2018 national champions, Trojans. All right, they're going to win it this year with Sam Darnold at quarterback, and I'm telling you, thank God that guy's good at quarterback, because if he isn't, boy, he does not. He only has a face a mother could love. I'll tell you that much. Anyways, so talking about football, we're going to get to the games. It's a 5-game slate. Don't worry, we're going to get there. We're in baseball. But it's baseball mode right now. I know everybody wants to talk baseball, but real quick, we're going to talk football because football's 6 weeks away. And I'm in the football mode, and it's 5 games. We're gonna get to it. We're gonna get through it. You're gonna love it. Don't worry, we're all there. But first, I'm gonna go quick to you. I'm gonna go to Cuse because we already heard what Eric's thing about football advice is score more points than your opponent. Okay, but Cuse, tell me what's the key starting out if you're a beginning DFS football player?
For me personally, watching football is everything. Baseball, you don't need to watch any of the games. You can look at stats. It's pretty much a statistic type sport for DFS. Football, for me personally, I like to watch, see the game, how the game's playing out. For me, I can predict every week how games are going to play out. If you see teams passing, they get a bad pass defense, it's going to be a blowout. Then you can, they're going to be passing at the end. That type of stuff. Seeing who the guys that come in for the second and third string are, the guys getting the reps. So watching the games for football for me is very important compared to baseball.
Yeah, I think that with football the key is that you're almost trying to sit down and predict how the game's going to go before the game start. You got to think, okay, well, my quarterback's going to get all of his points in the fourth quarter, and that's how he's going to make value. But it is very frustrating. Stacking is very popular, and we'll get more into that as football season gets closer. But back to baseball now. Tonight was a really weird night. It was a 10-game slate. We had some good pitching on the mound, and one player in particular that plays DFS that I just do not care for. He is just one of the absolute, I don't agree with the way he plays, but the guy wins, so I'm giving him his props. He put up 317 points in one of his lineups, and he basically stacked Marlins and Royals with C-Mart, and he got everybody. I mean, his pitcher was 22% owned, but every hitter, the highest was 10% by Moustakas. So he is, he really, really hit the nuts, as we say in DFS tonight, and that lineup was just amazing. Crazy amazing. What'd you guys think of it? What'd you guys think of tonight?
I think we lost Cuse. So it's going to be on me.
All right.
Dude, yeah.
There we go.
Oh, there it is. All right.
All right.
So tonight was just very unaverage. When you see a baseball team score 22 runs, that's very, 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 very unrare. So, or very rare. And I don't know that we'll see that again for a long time.
I agree.
And, I was on the wrong side of that stack. It looked like it was going to be a good game. When we looked at some of the VMI and ADI weather information, it looked good and everything like that. But I did not see that.
I agree. I don't think anybody can, So we're just going to keep going. And Cuse is here. He's here.
And now he's gone.
And now he's gone again. So real quick, there's a 5-game slate, Eric, and while we're waiting for Cuse to get back, if he gets back, let's talk a little about this kind of a macro view of this slate tomorrow. Have you looked at it much? I mean, what do you think of it? I mean, it's kind of weird to me. I mean, Cuse says he loves it. I'm not in love with it right now. I mean, maybe we can talk about it. What do you think? Macro view.
I'm not in love with it. I think right off the bat, just looking at, and I'm not even looking at the times. I'm just looking at all the games overall. I know we're only going to go over the main slate. Washington looks interesting. Chicago again. St. Louis, I don't know. I'm with you as far as the game doesn't look, or the slate itself doesn't just look absolutely amazing to me. But as somebody once told me, somebody's got to win.
Yeah. So yeah, there's points out there. Don't matter if you win with 90 points or 317. Right. You'll take it. I just think that, you look at the pitching options. I think there's maybe 4 guys out of the 10 that you can really look at. And all the other guys, I think you might want to attack a little bit. And so that's going to lead basically everybody's going to know where everybody's going. Price isn't really an issue, I don't think, especially on FanDuel. The highest pitcher is Archer at, I think, 10.5, I think it is, or
yeah, he's at 10.5.
10.5, and
then you got Lester.
And then
Godley,
and then Sabathia.
I actually read a really good article about Godley on Fangraphs the other day, and they were talking about him actually being a really good pitcher, which I have a hard time wrapping my head around. I don't know.
Well, I think he's made some good starts this year. He went into Colorado a couple weeks ago and shut down the Rockies in Colorado. But then he's had some starts where, he's looked like, he's a second or third year pitcher, which he is. So it's not, I just think tomorrow on a slate, if you're going to have to get, kind of off the grid, so to speak, he might be the way to go. If you look at his game logs, if you throw out the 0, if you throw out his worst start was 19 points back in May 21st against the Padres. Basically he's going, 35, 27, 32, 37, 46, his high is 46. So his ceiling isn't really there, but at 8,500, he's somebody you have to be considering. Another guy that I think that people are going to be looking at tomorrow, and I think he's a good GPP play, is, I can't believe I'm saying this, is CC. And I know that we'll go over it more, but we're just kind of waiting until Cuse might come back, and then we'll go into the games. But I'm just kind of going over pitchers real quick. Like, you look at CC, and I think that at 7,600, if he can get you 35 points, I think you're happy. And he's facing a team that strikes out a lot. So I think that he, his highest strikeouts this year is 9 against Oakland, against a team that strikes out a lot. Tampa Bay, he's faced them before on the 21st of May, and he had 6 strikeouts against them. So I think that he can at least get that, and he has 36 points in 5 innings. If he can avoid the 3-run home run, I think he's viable tomorrow. What do you think about CC?
Hold on, and I'll tell you here in just a second. So I don't mind that call. And the reason I don't mind that call is Cincinnati looks.
You mean like Tampa?
Tampa. Wow. I'm still looking at today.
That's okay.
I am losing my mind.
That's all right. Don't worry about
it. Actually, okay. So
he's back. Oh, all of a sudden.
There he is.
Eric, and then it was
like, and
it was cute.
What about Naboonies, man? That happens. Hopefully it don't happen again. My bad.
Okay.
So
finish what you were saying.
I want to, but I don't really. I don't know. I don't really have anything good to say. Yeah. So CC as a tournament option, I think you're good to go with that. Let me take a real quick look at.
You looked that up. I'm going to switch it over to Cuse. Cuse, we were just kind of going over a macro view of tomorrow's slate. You said you really liked it. Before you're getting into like any real specifics, just kind of tell us like why you really like tomorrow's slate.
I feel like I have a really good read on the pitching and the offenses for tomorrow, which, it's without digging in, just, brief little overview. There's pitchers I like, and I'm confident. There's hitting that I like, and I think they're going to come through tomorrow.
Right now, everybody, I want to let you know, Cuse has been killing it with his pitching selections these last few weeks. He's just you tweeted something out the other day, the pitching whisperer or something. You nailed it again.
Yeah.
And so even tonight you were off of Darvish. Am I correct? You didn't like Darvish, am I right, in the live stream?
I hated him because of the weather.
And you like Gio and
I was all Gio.
And who else?
Who else was there?
You else?
Whoever I had I forgot who I had in my articles.
Okay. And and the live stream, those of you in the live stream, we were all over Jimmy Nelson, and we thought once we saw the Nationals lineup, we really we moved on to Nelson. He wound up getting about 50 points tonight. Totally was way better than his value, and we nailed that. So that's just something that, guys, if you're listening to this on YouTube and you want to join the Wise Take, wisetake.com, sign up for a seasonal or a weekly or day pass. It's 20% off right now. And you just enter the code podcast and you get 20% off any package. I suggest doing the monthly package. You get the most savings. It's all sports. That gets you, MLB, WNBA, NBA, NFL when it comes. We got NASCAR. Cuse does a great job in NASCAR. NFL, obviously, when that comes. So that's just a little plug. But that's also like what you get on the live stream. We had Paulie D and CK breaking it down a little bit and we kind of came on to Nelson. And we also talked about Aaron Nola a little bit. Somebody asked about Nola, and it worked out. We saw the Astros lineup, and we're like, wow, that's a pretty damn good lineup to attack. Not, you know what I'm saying? There was only Altuve and Reddick, and there just wasn't that many. They were missing on some of their really good hitters, so we wanted to attack them. So that's just a couple things that if you join and you get on the live stream, we get those picks, because right now we're just kind of saying our first view. But then at 2:30 we come on and we give you what we really like. But anyways, let's get into the first game without further ado. We are going to start off in almost where we started before you came in New York. We got Chris Archer, the Tampa Bay Rays, traveling to New York to take on CC Sabathia and the New York Yankees. It looks like it's going to be 80%, a little drizzle, no real rain. Cuse, what you got for us?
As far as pitching, I have some interest in Archer. I can see him also getting lit up. For the pitchers we got tomorrow, I think he's going to be one of the top two safe plays for cash. But at the same time, you never know with the Yankees. The Yankees finally broke out today, started hitting the ball. Didi Gregorius has just been absolutely mashing the ball right now. So, Archer's been a little bit worse on the road, so you can see him giving up some points. But I think the strikeout upside is there for you to get value, and he's with the guys we got in the slate tomorrow. He's definitely an option for cash. As far as CC, I'm off CC altogether. He's been terrible at home this year. I think in 6 starts, his ERA is almost 6. I know the Tampa Bay usually struggles versus lefties, but I think tomorrow they're gonna put in that righty lineup that they had. Was it today? They had a bunch of righties in there, and you got Longoria. Longoria's I think 30 for 74 off him. Sousa's 6 for 16 off him. So I think they're just going to crush CC tomorrow, and it's definitely an offense that I like.
That's good. We were talking about it earlier, and me and Eric sort of like CC just by looking at his performance and maybe what else is on the slate. He did pitch once against Tampa, in Tampa, and he struck out 6. What do you have to say, Eric?
So looking over on the Archer side, he's got some decent numbers. Something that really concerns me right now is his BFIP. So for those who don't know what BFIP is, it's basically your FIP stat, just subbing out home runs for barrels. And he has got the 3rd highest BFIP of all pitchers right now for the day, which is going to be 12.1. So that's actually really high. He's got a decent. He's got decent xOBA versus righties, but his versus lefties is actually really bad. So I will be interested to see what what comes out when the lineups release, and the models will indicate the opposing K percentage and the xOBA, and we can see what's going on with that piece of it. Mm-hmm. So I know everybody's going to be on him. With a small slate, I mean, he's probably going to be one of the safer bets in cash. I just don't know that I'm sold on him. Mm-hmm. As we talked about prior with CC, I mean, definitely at some point he's got to turn around. I mean, he's just been terrible. So I do think that he will be a good GPP option. Is projected to get the win right now. Against what Cuse said, Tampa doesn't hit lefties all that well. But over the last 30 days for CC, I mean, his Sierra is way up, his ERA is way up. His xOBA is actually down versus lefties, of course. But his ground ball percentage is real high, and his fly ball percentage is actually decent. Mm-hmm. And his hard contact is at 10% over the last 30 days. So a GPP flyer, but minimal exposure.
The one thing that I've noticed is I'm expecting for the air density index to be good in Yankee Stadium tomorrow, so I think the balls will be moving. The one thing that caught my eye is the earlier total when I saw the game first came out was 8.5 for this game. Does that seem kind of low to you guys?
It does. Yeah, it does seem kind of low, and I was actually just looking at that. It opened at 9, and it's already dropped to 8.5. We've got implied totals of 4.4 for New York and 4.2 for Tampa. Oh. So yeah, we're looking. It looks like it'll be a low scoring game, which I think benefits Archer in this case.
Yeah.
But what you were talking about with the air density, I mean, both teams got a pretty strong positive for the day, so it could be a lot of hitting as well.
Yeah. But
yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I think, guys, that tomorrow it might be. I think that you can attack Sabathia with those right-handed hitters, but you could also use him as a GPP flyer. So it's one of those guys that kind of goes either way. That makes him a GPP option. As for the Yankees, I don't know if I really want to attack Archer. For me, I don't know. I think I might fade tomorrow. I think I might fade Archer tomorrow in cash. I think that. I think that there's other pitchers that you could go to if you're gonna play cash. Which I'm gonna right now. If you're gonna play cash, I'd play a lower amount of cash and I just play more GPPs tomorrow, and I play lower volume just totally in general. But that's just me. So let's move on to the next game. This is a game that I think we can get some goodness on. Robert Stevenson of the Cincinnati Reds is traveling to Miami to face Chris O'Grady of the Miami Marlins. Hit it off, Cuse.
Pretty simple. Both pitchers suck, and I like both sides for offense. I think this is going to be one of the highest scoring games tomorrow. I think the total, when I looked earlier, was like 9.5, but I'm expecting it to be a pretty high scoring game. And I'm anticipating that Miami, after what they did tonight, putting up a big number. I think there's going to be a lot of people on them, but I like Cincinnati a little bit more because I think maybe today against the Yankees they finally started hitting. And when you put up a crappy pitcher, I think tomorrow is going to be the day that they finally start to go off.
Eric?
Yeah. So Robert Stevenson just looks like he's just throwing slabs of meat over the plate in this one. It's just, it's ugly. I don't think right now that I think Miami's going to be tired, is what I think. I mean, hell, they spent the whole night running the bases like wind sprints. So, in this case, so they're traveling from Texas back home. We talked about this the last time that I was on the pod with Los Angeles coming home. While I think it can be a high scoring game, currently, you've got Miami at an implied total of 5 and Cincinnati of 4.4. But the line has already dropped 10 points. So, you got some good reverse line movement there for Cincinnati, and right now on the money line, you've got 54% of the bets on that side. So I'm with Cuse as far as being able to look at. Wow. So let me just start that over. To look at Cincinnati. Woo! Couldn't get it out. To look at Cincinnati in this
That's
one.
what she said.
Oh. So then on the other side, Chris O'Grady just, when you look at how many FanDuel points he's giving up on average, it's sad, brother. It's sad. So 50 points overall on average, 61 over to right-handers. A bunch of his numbers are up. His hard contacts at 40% versus righties. And he's throwing 53% fly ball rate to lefties and a 48% fly ball rate to righties. So
this is O'Grady?
This is O'Grady, yeah.
O'Grady, okay.
So, in this case, I mean, look at his ground ball numbers are both in the 20s. So, good spot.
I mean, how do you say no to Cozart and Stanton tomorrow? I mean, they're both mashing the ball. The pitching on the slate is really not. Even when on DK, you can have that one. The top pitcher is like 11-9, so you're going to be able to get a cheap DK too. You're going to be able to get pretty much all the bats you want, probably on both sites.
Yeah, first of all, I look at the pitchers and I feel like Robert Stevenson's like an author, and he's facing like like a guy by the name of Chris O'Grady that's like a leprechaun, like the author versus the leprechaun. Robert Stevenson in his book series against Chris O'Grady, the Irishman. All right.
Is he a redhead? I don't know that I've seen his face, but if he's a redhead and he's short, then
the leprechaun, man. Okay, so I just think this game is stackable both sides. Wherever you want to go, it's a 5-game slate, so people are going to be going there. So if you want to get contrarian, I'd go more Reds than Marlins. Maybe bottom of the lineup for the Marlins if you wanted. See who's going to play. Tyler Moore will get a hit sometime in his career because he's playing first base every day. He will get a hit, I promise you. But yeah, I like this game. Not really much more to talk about. Stack it. We like it. Let's move on to the Arizona Diamondbacks and Zach Godley traveling to St. Louis to to take on Luke Weaver. No relation to Jared or Jeff. Thank God.
I was wondering that when I first looked up today.
Yeah, I don't think it was. The Weaver brothers grew up in Southern California, and I don't think there was a third Weaver brother. So, thank God for that. Anyway, so I'm gonna lead us off here. Godley is a guy that right now 27.6 hard contact rate the last 30 days. So he's not giving up a lot of hard contact. He's one of those pitchers where I think that tomorrow he's on the short list for GPPs. Depending on the lineup that the Cardinals roll out, I think that I would, guys like Carpenter, Pham, DeJong, and Fowler, if he's playing, those are the guys that kind of worry me. But I think tomorrow Godley also has the upside to where he can strike out 6 or 7 and maybe win a GPP. On the other side, Luke Weaver, he's a righty, so I say Peralta, Lamb, Goldschmidt, Martinez, Pollock, Dancer, Prancer, Donner, Blitzen, whatever you want to play. These, I think that you can get the Diamondbacks pretty good because people like to stay off of them when they're on the road too. They're kind of like the Rockies. So, anyways, Eric, I'm going to throw it to you. What do you got?
You pretty much set it off for me.
Yeah.
I don't know that there's anything really that you can add to that at this point.
That was perfect. It's just like old school.
Oh yeah,
that's how you debate.
That's how you do it.
That's how you debate.
I was trying to find some information, but on their Vegas lines, and this one isn't exactly updated.
Yeah,
so
I didn't see any either.
No. Godley's numbers have looked good over the last 30 days. He is on the road. St. Louis has actually kind of been not that bad. So I think that it's actually De Jong is what I understand, not De Jong. I don't know. I'm not French.
They call it jogging. The J is apparently you just run for an extended period of time. They call it yogging or jogging. The J is silent. I'm not sure. I got my Will Ferrell movies completely crossed up right now. I got Old School and Anchorman just crossing each other up. Anyways, Cuse, what you got?
I have no interest in Godley tomorrow for exact reasons of what I talked about today in my article. That the ADI in that ballpark, I'm anticipating it to be scorching hot like it was today, and I think both teams have the possibility of going off, but I think St. Louis will. Arizona's in the same type of situation that Colorado is, in my opinion, when they leave Arizona because of the conditions there. Their first game, they always seem to struggle. I've been on it for a month. It's been working. That being said, I wouldn't be surprised if they went off. So it's I'm personally going to be very light on the Arizona bats, but I can also see them going off. I'm more on the St. Louis side. They've been hitting. The ballpark is going to be prime for them to hit. The only issue with them is they haven't I only like the top of their order, maybe like Carpenter, Pham, and DeJong, like you said. So I'm not sure if you can. Tomato, don't matter. So I don't think you can even do a full stack, but we'll see if that changes tomorrow. As far as this Weaver kid, his minor league stats are actually very, very good. He was a first-round draft pick. I think he was drafted like 24th in the first round. He's got in AAA. He was 9-1 with a 1.91 ERA and averaging almost 10 strikeouts per 9 innings. So I mean, his numbers are really good. So I'm if you're playing multiple lineups, I'm definitely going to have some exposure to him because nobody's going to be on the kid. You don't know what to get from him, and I can definitely see, Arizona not showing up tomorrow. So the kid looks pretty good, even in his 3 innings that he's pitched this year. He's done. I don't think he's given up a run in 3 innings.
Interesting. Yeah. Now that you mention it, the name kind of is he a college kid? Did he come out of college? Actually,
I have it up here right now. He is from. It doesn't say. He just says June amateur draft. Doesn't have a college or anything, so I don't know. Yeah. So.
All right.
He got shelled last year in the majors. But this year he's turned it around, so we'll see.
So yeah, there's no line on it right now, so we don't really know what's going to go. But obviously, just looking into it tomorrow. But that's a good start. I think there's multiple ways you can go on this game to get contrarian. There might be people that won't want to attack Godley. They might want to pick him, but they don't want to pick on him either. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those situations. But speaking of picking on, it's time to pick on you, Cuse, because it's time for 5 questions with the DFS Wise Take team. That's right. The game show that's gripping the nation. Okay, that people love it. All right. People love this, and we're going to get it bigger, and we're going to grow it, and we're going to grow it, and we're going to grow it. Eric, I just want you to sit back and laugh.
I am going to.
I won't be as quick as Slim Gady.
All right.
He was quick.
Yeah, he was pretty good. All right, good. Okay, question number 1. Favorite all-time Orangeman, any sport?
Favorite all-time Orangeman? Oh, that's a tough one. I'm going to go with obviously Carmelo because he brought the title home. Even though he wasn't there for long, he brought the title.
All right. Favorite porn star?
I don't know. I just watch Pornhub and everything else. I don't know what their names.
He said, I don't know their names.
All right.
Have a face?
You could probably ask me which week. What's your favorite porn star this week? I might say something.
Whoever has the best download speed.
Okay, number 3. Do you have Jim Boeheim pajamas?
No, I do not.
Okay. And number 4, have you ever pleasured yourself while watching The Express?
Negative.
Okay, and finally, 3 movies you can't live without.
Old School, Grandma's Boy, and was it Office Space?
Office Space? Nice. That's 5 questions with the Wise Take team. That's right. Be sure to catch us next time with a new Wise Take member. All right. What'd you guys think? What'd you think of that, Eric? I want you to digest that now. Regurgitate it. What'd you think?
I think I got it a lot worse when I got it. We should go back and replay it. Because that shit was just brutal.
It's easy, man. I have nothing to hide. I'll give all the answers.
Well, here's the thing is that I made that up literally on the cuff with you, Eric, and it started from there. So now that people know it's coming, they can kind of block it. But, yeah.
Still an ass guy.
I've gotten everybody but Paulie D.
We should have the members send in the questions to you.
That's true. They could do that, awesome. Too. That would be good, too. Yeah. So, listen, everybody, tweet at Patio Joe Ref, questions you want me to ask, the 5 questions for the Wise Take team when I'm on this on the YouTube pod. So I'm only going to do it on the YouTube. I'm not going to do it on the live stream. So you guys tweet at Patio Joe Ref Twitter, and you ask me what questions you want me to ask. The next one will probably be Paulie D. We need to try and get Paulie D on one of these YouTube things. So, Paulie, if you're listening, we love you. We want to get you on one of these things so we can do 5 questions with you, all right? Anyways, we're going to move on now to the game of Battle of Chicago. What do they call that? Is it the Subway? It's not the Subway Series.
No,
what is it?
Subway Series.
What is it?
It's in the Midtown.
Yeah, it's battle of the 3rd best, biggest city in the world.
How can you not know this? You got a Cup shirt on.
That's true.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. We won't talk about that, but we will talk about John Lester of the Chicago Cubs traveling to the south side of Chicago to take on Mike Pelfrey and the Chicago White Sox. Cuse, hit it off.
Lester's probably going to be my top cash game pitcher. We saw how bad the White Sox looked today against Arrieta. Great call today, Joe, in the cash game article. Arrieta was great, like you said. He didn't have the K's, but he definitely pitched a great game. At one point, he had a no hitter, I think, through 5 almost. So I love Lester. Chicago's pretty much packed it up in my mind. They're done. They're not the same team they were earlier in the year. If I had to pick on one bat that I'd like in the Chicago lineup, it's obviously Abreu. He hits righties really well. He's been not as hot as he was earlier in the year, but he'd be the one guy I go one off if you really want to be contrarian in GPP and you don't have Lester. As far as the Chicago pitching, I have no interest in Pelfrey, and I think Chicago is going to be probably chalk tomorrow for offense. And I'm not sure. I want to look more into the game. I'm probably not going to touch them only because they're chalk, and it's not the type of chalk that I feel confident in taking, even though it's chalk. So if that makes any sense.
Yeah, it does make sense because I think that Pelfrey he's one of those pitchers that he should give up 10 runs. He shouldn't be in the major leagues, but yet he's going to shut you down. And I think that tomorrow, if you want to fade the Cubs as well as the Marlins and win, I think you can. Right now, looking at it, I think you can. And because, the Cubs have 6.5 run total, but man, I've seen Pelfrey just like pitch all right, and like not even. I mean, he might give up 4 runs, but that's 4 runs isn't enough to win you a GBP. Mm-hmm. So, especially after today, what do you got, Kais?
Pelfrey looks pretty bad. At least
he is bad. I'm just saying that, like, what did I say? He shouldn't be in the major leagues, but for some reason he's still making starts. So he's doing something right.
We've said that many times this year that he's looked bad, and he hasn't got. I mean, he hasn't done great, but he also hasn't gotten blown up either.
Mm-hmm. He's like that Perez. He's like Perez from Texas.
Yeah.
Yes. So all I really have to say about this game, I mean, right now you've got a 222 money line. You got implied points of 6.2 for the Cubs. I was about to say Chicago. That was funny. Come on.
It took a while.
and 4.3 runs for the White Sox. I don't think the White Sox are going to get that. It's going to be hot. By the way, it's called the Crosstown Classic.
Thank you.
Not the middle.
Because I didn't know it either.
So yes, they're going to be chalk. I mean, if you're going to play cash, you want some exposure to the game. Cubs right now are slated to score the most FanDuel points as a team, as well as DraftKings. Through simulation, you've got 116 points as a team for FanDuel and 88 for DraftKings. So kind of keep that in mind. I do want to see how the money line is going to move. And that's going to really kind of determine. But I love Leicester in this game, and I don't think that they're gonna touch them. It will be interesting to see what comes out once we get the pitch props as well, to see what that's going to look like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I also think this game, I probably, if I'm running, I think, like I said, you can fade the game, but I also think you should have a little bit of something here, because in a 5-game slate, you could have a mini stack and get guys that still produce what you need, and not, depending on value or whatever, you get a little mini stack of Schwarber, Zobrist, or Contreras, Schwarber, or even Bryant Rizzo. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Pelfrey could give up 4 runs, and he gives up 2 home runs to both of them, and you get your nut and whatever. So, and on the other side, I think that you don't want any of these bats. Obviously, Abreu's all right. Davidson's isn't bad. Moncada's cheap, but he hasn't really shown us anything. And, yeah, Lester's going to be probably the only guy that I write up tomorrow in my article as a cash game. It's if you're going to play cash, I think Lester's pretty safe. He's the biggest favorite on the board. He's pitched pretty well lately. And like we say, the White Sox haven't been the same against lefties that they were in the beginning of the season. So we can attack them now. Finally, let's move on to the last game of the night. It feels like these 2 teams have been playing for 3 weeks. Chris Flexen. My God, who the hell is that?
That guy.
Against Luis Perdomo and the San Diego Padres. Cuse. Talk about flexing.
This is just an odd game. Like, I really don't have a set feeling on it. Offensively, I'm gonna have minimal exposure to it. If anything, it's maybe a mini stack or a one-off on these teams, only because it's such a short slate. Like Paulie, I think it's Paulie that usually says he doesn't like to target, certain people in pitchers' ballparks. And San Diego is a pretty big ballpark, but there's been a lot of runs scored. I think it was 6-3 tonight. I forgot what it was last night. I think it was like 7-6 or 5-6. So they're scoring a decent amount of runs, but I think there's way better options on the board tomorrow. Perdomo, as far as pitching, he just has no upside. If anything, he's going to get you on DraftKings, he's going to get you the 2x. He's going to get you the 15, 16 points to get his salary at best, and that's it. Flexon, I did a little bit of research on him. He's also think I wrote it down. He's 6-1, and he's coming from AA. So that's the other thing. I mean, they took the kid from AA, threw him to AAA. Why he's pitching? I'm sure there's a reason behind it. Maybe somebody got hurt, but he's 6-1 in AA with 1.66 ERA, and his K per 9 is actually really good. So you want to throw a flyer on him, and you're running like 50 lineups. I have no issue with that. But as far as cash, obviously he's not neither one of these guys are an option to me in cash.
Mm-hmm. Where do you play in AA?
Is it Las Vegas that they play?
No, Las Vegas is a AAA team.
Here, I got it up here. I'll tell you in 1 second. Or does it not tell you? AA. Binghamton.
Okay. Binghamton.
Yeah.
Never been to Binghamton.
Yeah,
No.
It's nothing special.
The over-under on this game's already dropped a half a point since opening, and that's been within the last, hour or so. I would love to be at this game just because it's going to be 72 degrees at first pitch, and being in the South, it's hot as shit. I don't really have much interest anywhere in this game, and I don't know that I will even attempt to play it or stack it or do anything with it. I don't like it.
Yeah, I think that it's hard to cross off games in a 5-game slate.
Yeah.
I think that if you wanted to do something like, obviously, I think people might even just throw this guy Flexen in just because the Padres are
that bad.
That bad, and you can maybe get something out of them. And, obviously 6K, then you could play every big bat you want. But I think tomorrow it's a very, very just a chill slate. I wouldn't really, go high volume, I guess. Okay, so you said, Cuse, you said you know exactly where you want to go right now and who you want to attack. In 1 minute, who do you want to pitch, and who do you want to play?
I've been playing more DraftKings this week than FanDuel.
So pitchers do you want to?
Lester is obviously the top catch guy. I don't care what site you're playing on. He's your DK1, your FanDuel pitcher. As far as DK2, that's really interesting. I don't really feel safe with any of these guys. So like you were saying earlier, I'm going to go light on cash. I might even throw a flyer out on I don't know. Looking at him, you might have to go Lester Archer just for DraftKings because there's really no safe DK2 for me. So I'll probably go super light in cash. As far as the offense, I'm trying to remember who I liked. I liked Tampa. I liked Cincinnati, Miami, St. Louis, and some White Sox. Those are the 5 teams I'm going to try to get my cash guys from.
Yes. I think GPPs, going to the Reds, can be contrarian because I think everybody's going to go to the Marlins. And this guy Grady,
especially after what they did tonight.
Yeah. You got Votto, Duvall, and Suarez, Cozart. I wouldn't mind that. I think that going to the Mets, Padres on the other side, though, this guy's flexing. You could put Renfroe and
AA is.
You know what I mean? It's a big jump.
It is.
You could put. You could get a cheap stack of Myers, Sanchez, and Renfroe, and they could do pretty damn good for you. And then you could stack some other game. And, all you got to do is play a somewhat of a contrarian stack of this game just in general. And that's your contrarian in your lineup. And if that hits with, whatever chalk you want to go with at that point, if you want to go with the Marlins or the Cubs, and that hits, then you can win. You guys want to play some Dong Watch, and then we'll get out of here?
I'm ready.
Yeah?
Much as I don't want to leave you guys.
So with us, EK?
Watch. I'm with you, man. I'm dong watching. Watching.
Cool. So if you hear that, sorry, guys, that's my my sprinklers that just came on. Okay, so
first world
Dong
problem.
Watch today. We're gonna go old school Dong Watch. We're just gonna do what we used to do. We're gonna do somebody over 4,000, somebody between 3,000, somebody between 2,000.
Let me get my FanDuel up.
Yeah, and I'm sure there's not too many $4,000 players, anyways.
I'm gonna take Goldschmidt.
Okay, you're gonna go first. You take Goldschmidt. All right.
He's going first now.
No, let him go first. It's all right. No. It's all right. I like it. He's being proactive, and I appreciate that. While we're sitting here waiting for ours to load.
Hopefully he plays tomorrow. But my favorite guy tomorrow is Zach Cosart.
Zach, and he's over 4,000.
Nope.
35.
Is there anybody?
Okay, so that's your 3,000.
Stanton. Then. Stanton's the guy who hits home runs in his sleep.
All right. I am going to take. First of all, I just love the pitcher for the Brewers tomorrow. Michael Blazek, brah. We're going to blaze after the game, brah, because Blazek's on the mound, brah. I'm going to take Rizzo, my boy, my Italian brethren.
Rizzo.
All right, Cuse, 3,000 to 3,000 and above. Cozart.
Take Justin Bour.
Bour's hurt. Bour's hurt with a oblique, actually.
Fine, I'll take Votto.
Joey Votto, okay. Is he? Yeah, he's good. I am going to take. Adam Duvall. Ooh, a little mini stack, me and you, huh?
Mm-hmm.
All right, and then finally under 2K or 2K into 3. What do you got?
I'm gonna go on a big limb of a guy that hit a home run tonight, and I've been a big fan of him all year. Is Wilmer Flores if he plays?
Wilmer Flores. Really? It's usually Death Taxes and Wilmer Flores against the lefty.
And I wanted to hold down the homer for it for CK.
All right. And what about you, my man?
Ian Happ.
All right, and I am going to go with. Oh, let's see here.
You gotta say it. Come on. This is the only other guy I liked.
Under 2,000? Oh boy, I don't even know, man. I'm gonna go with Hector Sanchez, catcher, Padres. No, he put his head down. Oh no, I don't know.
I thought you were gonna say Schwarber. I like
Schwarber.
Happ and Schwarber. In my other
I don't mind Schwarber either. I was looking at him too. Anything else you guys got to say, Eric? Anything else?
Score more points than the other guy?
Who would you guys play for DK2 tomorrow in cash if you had to? Obviously, the choices are very non-cash like, but
if you're not gonna play the Archer,
Lester, it's gonna be Lester
Archer.
And somebody, right?
Yeah, it is gonna be Lester and somebody.
Very tough, right?
Yeah. Actually,
these are the days that we should not be playing cash.
You know what's funny? And I'm just. Yeah, no, that's not it. Sorry, my bad.
I might actually throw out a shot on Flexen.
See, I like the other kid. I like Weaver. I'm going to take a shot on Weaver. Weaver might be my DK too. I might just take that risk tomorrow. I'm going to play light anyway, so because I'm a degenerate.
Yeah, I don't know.
And I only say that because the over-under's dropping. The game's supposed to be really close. I mean, he did good, although it was Double-A. San Diego, big ballpark. It's a pitcher's ballpark. I think that if you had to, that would be a way to go.
You have to turn into the live show to find out, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll see some of this line movement and whatnot.
Yeah. Yeah, guys, I think tomorrow's going to be a very interesting slate. It's going to be tough to kind of get off the board and go something different for me. I don't know, a second pitcher on DK. I might, oh God. I might say, I know you don't like it, Cuse, and you're a lot hotter than me right now, but I kind of like Zach Godley. He hasn't been getting the ball hit hard off him in the last 30 days. So I think it can be bad. Obviously, what else you have going on? There's not much. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But,
no, I can understand it. I mean, it makes sense. I'm more for that game. It's going to matter on what the temperature in the ADI and the VIMI looks like for me in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
But it makes sense.
And I also wouldn't. I kind of thought maybe Perdomo, just because he's at home, he kind of has pitched all right. But the Mets throw out a lot of lefties. That could be bad. And then I still think CC wouldn't be a terrible option, just because I think maybe he could do all right if he could just stay away from the 3-run bomb. But you don't know tomorrow, But anyways, guys, that's going to wrap it up for us tonight. Be sure, if you're listening to this on YouTube, put the like button. Also, once again, we want you to join wisetake.com. We really appreciate it when you do. If you sign up for a monthly or a day pass or a week pass and you put in the promo code podcast, you get 20% off any package. Like we said, we suggest getting the 20%, getting the monthly package. That's the best savings. So make sure you do that. We have a lot of fun in our chat rooms. The live streams are awesome. Pauly D, CK, myself. Sometimes we get Gautzab. He is a live finalist who's won over $250,000 this year. So we have that in the chat rooms. I guarantee you, if you come in the chat rooms, you ask a question before lock, you're gonna get it answered. Yep. We really care about it. We got Cuse in the chat room doing the weather. Sometimes if I'm not on the live stream, I'm even in the chat room making everybody laugh and answering questions myself. And Eric obviously is in the scenes, always just laughing with his Dr. Evil laugh, going, whoa.
I join every once in a while, drop a line, and then I leave, so I can't see the response.
Yeah, so, but anyways, guys, for EK, Eric Keiser, and Syracuse, I'm Patio Joe, and we are out.
I was up top.